Greetings AI Forum audience. Welcome to AI Conversation episode number 5, the flagship series of the AI Forum, dedicated to discussing crucial AI-related matters that bridge the gap between industry, academia, and policymakers. My name is Seviche Arthur, and I'll be moderating today's session. For today's conversation, we're exploring how small and medium manufacturers can enhance their production processes through industrial methodology and technology adoption. From lean manufacturing and Six Sigma to robotics and automation, these strategies are key to improving efficiency, reducing costs, and staying competitive in an evolving market. We're thrilled to have Mr. Voeurn Yong Ann with us for this discussion. Mr. Yong Ann is a senior lecturer in robotics and automation, specializing in manufacturing technology and process optimization. Together, we'll dive into the challenges SMEs face, the role of industrial automation, and practical steps for adopting cutting-edge technologies. Welcome, Mr. Yong Ann.
Greeting everyone, and thank you, Mr. Vitsia, for having me today.
Let's start by understanding the current challenges. Small and medium manufacturers often face unique challenges in production efficiency, quality control, and resource management. Based on your experience, what are the most pressing issues they encounter, and why do these challenges persist in Cambodia's manufacturing sector?
All right, I think that is really a great question. So let me go through my experience working with SME in Cambodia. Okay, so I think one of the biggest challenges in our SME, I see that there is lack of standardized processes. Okay, so many small manufacturers in our country rely heavily on manual labor and traditional method that which can lead to inconsistency in product quality and also inefficiency in productions. So both product and the productions cause the problem. Okay, and then another pressing issue is the limited access to capital, of course, the money, right? SME often operate on a tight budget. So investing in new technology or training feel like a luxury rather than a necessity. Okay? And additionally, I see there is a huge gap in the skill. So many workers are trained in modern manufacturing techniques or industrial methodology like Lean or Six Sigma that we're gonna discuss detail later on in this podcast. So you see, right, these created a cycle where businesses stick to outdated practice. Because why? Because they don't have the resources or knowledge to upgrade, right? And the persistence of these challenges come down to a combination of factors. Let me go through one by one. Limited awareness about the benefit of process optimization. Okay, there's inefficient government incentive for tech adoption, but that is somehow because why we still developing country. And the final point and the most important, I think, there's a general hesitation from the SME itself to embrace the change. Okay, so even though these are challenges, but I believe this is where education and collaboration between industry and academia can make a real difference.
You've highlighted some key challenges, particularly the reliance on traditional practices and the lack of standard processes. That leads us to industrial methodologies. We know that lean manufacturing, Six Sigma, and Kaizen have been instrumental in improving efficiency in large-scale production. But for SMEs with limited budgets, how can they effectively adopt these methodologies without requiring significant upfront investment? And could you share some real-world success stories of small manufacturers implementing these approaches?
That's a great question. The good news is that methodology like Lean, Six Sigma, and Kaizen doesn't necessarily require big budget. They are more about mindset shift and incremental improvements. So for example, the lean focuses on eliminating waste, which can start with simple action like organizing workspace better, using method so-called 5S, for example, or reusing overproduction by aligning output with the actual demand. So just enough for the demands only. And one of the success story I can share here is that I have involved a local garment manufacturer here in Cambodia. They implemented basic lean principle by mapping out their workflow and identifying bottlenecks. So by rearranging equipment and cross-training employees, they reduce lead time by 20% without spending a dime on new machinery. So it was all about optimizing what they already had, right? And another methodologies that I see really great is Kaizen. So Kaizen is an approach for SME. Why? Because it's emphasized on continuous improvement through small manageable changes. Employees at all levels can contribute ideas, fostering a culture of innovation. One factory I worked with started with weekly brainstorming session where workers suggest ways to save time or material. So it builds morals and save costs simultaneously. So key takeaway here is that these methodologies are scalable. Start small, focus on low-cost solution, and build more momentum over time.
That's very insightful. You've mentioned that SMEs don't necessarily need a large budget to implement industrial methodologies. Small changes can bring big improvements. Now let's talk about technology adoption. Many SMEs that hesitate to adopt automation due to concerns about cost, technical know-how, and operational disruption. What practical steps can SMEs take to integrate robotics, IoT, and data analytics into their production lines without overburdening their budget or workforce?
This is such a common concern. But the truth is, automation doesn't have to mean replacing everything overnight. Okay? A practice called first step is identify specific pain point in the production line where error occur frequently or tasks are repetitive and time consuming. So once you pin the point of those areas, you can explore targeted solution. For instance, collaborative robot or cobot, robotic world we so call it cobot, are an excellent entry for SME. So unlike traditional industrial robot, cobot are affordable, easy to program, and design works alongside with humans. So it's very safe to work with humans. I've seen a small electronic assembly in China and in Vietnam, for example, use cobot for soldering tasks, freeing up worker for higher value job while improving precision and consistency. And another thing that I see the adoption of welding robot. Surprisingly, I see our neighbor country like Thailand and Vietnam, they use robots even in the welding robot for the small production, like for example making door, supply the door or the fence. They adopted the welding robot, so use robot instead of manual welding, and they share that the cost of the production has reduced by around 30%, and the lead time, the overall cycle time is increased. There is increased at the same time. You see, right? There's a lot of benefit, and those investment, the early investment is not that high. And the course that I study, it should be in the range that our SME in Cambodia also can adopt it. Okay, one more thing that I can share is the IoT devices, another accessible options. Sensor that monitor machine performance or energy usage can provide value data without breaking the bank. One processing food company, I advise install IoT sensor or a special sensor that track the temperature fluctuation during storage. So this helps them reduce spoilage and comply with the safety standard. As data analytics, even basic tools like Excel or free platform like Google Data Studio can have SME analyze trends and make informed decisions. The goal isn't perfect, it's about progress. Okay, start with one area, measuring the impacts, and scale it up gradually over time. Then I can see this should be a success through the technology, or how technology can bring the success to the SME.
It's fascinating to hear how automation, even at a small scale, can yield significant results. But full automation isn't always the answer. Some SMEs opt for semi-automated system to maintain flexibility and control costs. Can you share examples where semi-automation has significantly improved efficiency? And how can SMEs determine the right level of automation for their operations?
Absolutely. Semi-automation strike a balance between human adaptability and machine precision, making it ideal for SME that need flexibility. Let me give you an example. A furniture workshop I collaborated struggled with cutting wood accurately and efficiently. So instead of going fully automated, they invested in a CNC machine, a semi-automated tool that handles the precise cuts by all allow operator to oversee the process. And the productivity has increased by 25%, and they retained the ability to customize order based on the client needs. Okay, so determining the right level of automation depend on several factors. So first, access your products mix. If your product highly customized item, fully automation might not be feasible because machines thrive on repetitions. So they only benefit on the repetitive tasks. Okay. Secondly, considering your volume. High volume product producer benefit more from fully automations, where low to medium volume producer may find semi-automatics more cost effective. So it really depends on the economic of scale of the producer itself. Okay. And finally, think about your workforce. Are they ready to adapt? Training play a huge role here. Sometimes semi-automation serves as a stepping stone, so the starting point. It introduces team to new technology while at the same time building confidence for future upgrades. The key is to align automation level with your business goal and capability. Really important.
We've covered a lot, from challenges to solutions, methodologies to automation. Looking ahead, Cambodia is embracing Industry 4.0, and SMEs will play a key role in this transformation. What role do you see small and medium manufacturers playing in this transition, and what policies or support mechanism would be necessary to accelerate their adoption of modern manufacturing technologies?
SME will absolutely play a pivotal role in Cambodia journey toward the Industry 4.0. And we all agree that the SMEs is the backbone of our economy, so contributing significantly to employment and also the GDP. However, for them to thrive in this digital era, we need a supportive ecosystem. Precisely, I think policy-wise, the government could introduce tax incentive for SME investing in automation or green technology. So I think the zero import tax for the advanced machinery or the machinery that used in production should be reused or should be subsidized. Because I see the current machinery that I have supplied so far, the user, the manufacturer, have to share a number of expense toward the tax of the product itself, and plus the VAT tax, the VAT. And another important is the subsidized training. And I see the skill development fund, for example, that are doing is really a good program. So this would also go a long way in bridging the skill gaps. So imagine if every SME worker had access to free or low cost on robotics basics or data analysis, for example. That would be transform the workforce to be greater efficient and also the productivity. And I see the public-private partnership are another avenue worth exploring. For example, university like CamTech can collaborate with industry to develop tailored solutions and conduct joint research projects. We have already started doing this with a few local companies, and the result seem promising. And lastly, creating shared facility like innovation hub equipment with advanced tools would allow SME to experiment with new technology without bearing a full cost themselves. So I believe the laboratory across university in Cambodia somehow should open and do the collaboration across university and also with the SMC also. So this kind of initiative would not only empower SME but also position Cambodia as a competitive player in global manufacturing landscape.
Thank you, Mr. Yong Ann, for sharing such valuable insights on how small and medium manufacturers can leverage industrial methodologies and technology to enhance production. It's clear that the combination of process optimization and automation is key to driving efficiency, reducing costs, and ensuring long-term competitiveness for SMEs.
Thank you, Mr. Vitya. It's been my pleasure. I truly believe that with the right strategy and support, SME in our country can overcome their challenges and become leader in manufacturing, and also moving their manufacturing toward the smart in this digitalization era. Okay, it's come to end, and thank you everyone for tuning in. I hope today's discussion inspire you to take the first step toward innovation. Thank you. Have a good day.
To our audience, if you enjoyed this discussion, be sure to follow AI Conversation for more in-depth talks on AI and technology-driven transformation. Join us next time as we continue to explore the evolving landscape of innovation and its impact on industries and society. Until then, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you in the next episode.